Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Key Encounters, yet another interesting person. I have the wonderful, the sexy, the #1 man who is the #1 fan of Dallas Cowboys. Can't tell him nothing else. Mr. Selle. Hello, welcome.
How's it going? How's it going?
Fair enough. All right, right off the bat. Who's your favorite in the house?
In the house?
Yeah, who is your favorite? So from my research, you have a wife, you have a kid. Which one's your favorite?
Oh, out of the wife and the kid?
Yeah. Which one?
My wife.
Your wife. Why does she take precedence over your daughter?
I think because I've known her longer and I know what to expect almost daily.
Okay.
Versus being a father of a teenager, it's something new all the time.
Oh, it's something new. So as of right now, we've got the new versus what you know, and the new is kind of like, it's a little difficult right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your upbringing.
I had both my parents through my childhood. In Colorado, I have a younger sister who's 2 years younger than me. Childhood was good. My dad worked a lot when I was a kid. Did 2 jobs, working at Pizza Hut and was a parts manager back in the day. And he tried, when it came to like holidays and Christmas and stuff, to make it special for us. As I got older, in my later teenage years, I started to realize and see that there was a rift between my family, and I was watching ultimately the end of my parents as it was happening.
Okay. Where did you draw a lot of your knowledge from?
Everywhere. My grandfather, before he passed, he gave me lots of wisdom. I didn't want to hear it at the time. I thought it was just whatever. Oh man, let me just get out of the situation, this conversation. And he was right on a lot of stuff. Same with my dad. And believe it or not, Shayna has taught me a lot too.
What were some of the philosophies that your grandfather tried to instill in you that now you realize they were valid?
When you're wanting to do something, he said there's 3 things you need to look at. Is it a need, a want, or a have to have? Like a have to have, you have to survive. Like you need food to survive. You have to have your lights on so you can cook those foods. You want a car. Is it necessarily, a necessity? Possibly, possibly not. That's one of the things he definitely distilled in me.
What's your fondest memory of your grandfather?
Well, out of both sets of my grandparents, my dad and my mom's side, my dad's was, he used to have one of those phones that when you pick up the receiver, the buttons lit up green. So when I remember being a kid, he had Wheel of Fortune on. I was fascinated with that. I was playing with the phone and getting macaroni and cheese in my hands and all over the phone. My other grandfather, it was going over his house and mowing his lawn every Sunday. First thing in the morning, around 9 o'clock, go over there, maybe eat breakfast, maybe not, mow the yard, and just hang out the rest of the afternoon, the morning and afternoon.
Okay. Now, growing up where you were at in Colorado, what were some of the places you visited?
I've been to, what's now Empower Field, the Bronco Stadium. I've been there. Growing up, went to a couple Rockies games at Coors Field. Been to Six Flags. A lot of stuff. Where else? Place called the Royal Gorge, Canyon City, Mountain, Garden of the Gods. Bunch of different places.
What was your favorite toy to play with?
The Ninja Turtle action figures.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Michelangelo.
Why was that?
He just didn't care. He just wanted to have a party. He could still kick some tail and still have fun at the same time.
Okay. Now, as a child, what was, besides the Ninja Turtle, what was some of the things you enjoyed doing as a kid? Like television, favorite snacks, things of that?
I was really into wrestling. I still am to this day. It's one of the things my dad and I bonded a lot over when I was growing up was watching pro wrestling. So I've grown up for 30 plus years watching pro wrestling. as far as like the food wise, definitely, like having morning cereal and watching 80s cartoons like the Transformers, He-Man, stuff like that.
Do you think it's a cardinal sin to put pineapple on pizza?
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our interview because I don't know what's wrong with this man. And why is that? Tell me more. Why is pineapple on pizza you're not supposed to do that?
Well, I've worked at some pizza places in my time, and there are, in my opinion, one okay time to put hot pineapple on pizza, and it's if you're having like a Hawaiian barbecue type of thing. Other than that, no. That is my...
Just can't have it nilly-willy. Can't just say, hey.
Like, oh, here's a pepperoni, jalapeno, and pineapple. No, just take off the pineapple. If someone gives it to me, I'll eat it. I'm not going to pick it off, but I'm not going to go out of my way to physically put it on my pizza.
What's your favorite type of pizza? Who makes the best pizza
crust,
in your opinion?
Best pizza in my opinion?
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off when you said your favorite pizza. Sorry.
It was pepperoni stuffed crust is my favorite, and personal opinion, Pizza Hut.
Worst pizza company?
Domino's.
Go-to fast food spot?
Go Whataburger all day, every day.
Okay. And what do you get when you get the Whataburger? Recently,
I have discovered the patty melt. I don't eat as fast food as much as I used to with all the weight loss and everything that I've been having. And Shayna introduced it to me and told me to add jalapenos to it. I was like, no, it's not going to sound good. It is my now go-to.
Oh, snap. So at your age now, looking back at your childhood, what is something you wish they brought back that they discontinued?
Crystal clear Pepsi.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So you enjoy Pepsi product?
I wouldn't say Pepsi product. There's a couple. Just that specific brand kind of Pepsi was my absolute all-time favorite.
What's the worst soda out there?
Currently?
Root beer. In general?
Root beer. All brands.
Root beer. We are starting to become not good friends here. Jesus.
I can't do root beer. I never could.
Right.
My dad's tried, my wife's tried, everybody's like, oh, try A&W, try Barks, try Mug.
It doesn't work for you, huh? What's the worst tasting food you think to date? That you just think of all the things you've ever eaten, what was the worst thing you ever put in your mouth?
The worst food in my life?
Yeah, so far to date.
It's a Asian cuisine called natto.
What is that?
Fermented beans.
Oh yeah, no sir. We're friends again. I appreciate you on that.
Not happening.
Tell me a little bit about high school. Did you do any sports? What was it like?
I'm gonna joking about the questions. Go. Oh shoot! All right. Well, high school started out okay. Typical 14-year-old, going to high school, and got a first what I thought at the time was a real relationship when I was 16. Was with that person for a year. Learned it real quick. It was infatuation than anything else. Senior year, I had a lot of issues going on. I had surgery on my ankle, so I was I graduated with a cast and crutches. I met my wife when I was a senior in high school. She was a freshman at the time. Trying to think. Other than that, I tried to date every girl in high school.
You were just out there just like, hey, what's up, girl? What's up, girl?
Yeah,
like that?
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right, I like that. This man's got confidence. So, all right, you got to tell me now, who made the move to ask who out, like to get together, you or your wife? Who initiated? Who initiated it, and then how did you convince her to stay?
She initiated it, and how I convinced her to stay, I am still asking that question to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, look at you being all humble and popular.
Because the reason why I ask her, to this day is because Friday is our 20-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations. So
I'm trying to figure out for the life of me why somebody would stick around with me for 20 years. And I'm glad she did. It's been fun.
Nice. So walk me through when she hit you up? What were you going through? What was the feelings? How did it happen?
We had touched base. God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. We met up about a few days before she actually made the move, through, at the time, was a mutual friend's house. Things happened over there that, I don't want to talk about, but about a few days later, I'm working at Papa John's. I get a phone call. I don't recognize the number. So I go in the bathroom, call her back. She's like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm working right now." She's like, "Oh yeah, where at?" And I tell her. She's like, "Do you want to hang out when you get off work?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool. Where you live." She told me. I was like, "All right, I can be there." So why at this point, when I'm getting close to her house, I decide to be a creeper and just cruise down the street with my headlights off. Why I did that, I don't know. I was trying to see if maybe that was really her house. Was I getting set up type of thing? I didn't know. And I saw her walking down the street towards me. She got in the car. We went over to my dad's house. And at that time, my dad's house wasn't livable because they had gotten hit a few nights before by a drunk driver had driven through the house. Oh, wow. So I went by to show her that. We went in, showed her like the areas of the house that could be accessible. So we were standing in my room just talking. I got a knock on my door, and my dad's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" Blah, blah, blah. Introduced him to Shayna, took her back home. I went to the liquor store, got a 6-pack, and went over to my grandparents' house, and we were staying while the house was getting fixed, and talked damn near all night.
Oh, nice. What were some of the things you guys talked about?
She had told me that she really liked me in high school. I played. At the time, I was like, really, I couldn't figure it out. But looking back on some of the things and some of the signs, it was obvious I was just too dense to figure that out at that time. She asked, more what happened with the house and if everybody's okay, how long I was working at Papa John's. I asked her, at the time she was still a senior in high school and she was a few months from graduation. So I asked her, it's like, "Hey, how's, your senior year going? How many classes do you have?" She told me, she's like, "Oh, I'm done by 9 o'clock in the morning." I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I live like 5 minutes from the school." I'm like, I realize that now, when we started, talking. And that was it. That was the first night.
Oh, wow. All right. Now, I heard the story from your wife on the proposal. Now, I'm going to go to the source, sir. I want you to, and I need details. I need the tea, baby. I need you to spill the tea. How did you come up with what you did? Hold on now. How did you come up with what you did? When you pulled the trigger to initiate it, what was going through your mind? And then we obviously know 20 years later, she said yeah. When she said yeah, how did it make you feel? So walk me from start to finish on that day.
Well, I had thought about it while I was working, whether or not I was going to do it. And part of me thought it was too soon. Part of me was like, you know what? I've had bad luck with women. Let's just give this a shot and see what happens. I did it on a whim, as a fluke, to see if she would say yes, expecting wholeheartedly for her to say no. Not no like forever, just no, not right now. And looking back, I could have done it differently, but yes, I did propose to my wife over cold Papa John's pizza that I had brought home from working that night.
Okay. I need more details than just that. See, look, not everybody who's watching this or even here right now watching this interview may not even have seen the interview with your wife. I'm asking you for the deets. Okay, I get the cold pizza, but from what I heard, you had to go get it and the whole, I want details, like what was going through the mind.
I asked her if she wanted, dinner, pizza for dinner. She said, yeah. Said, pick up whatever. I said, okay. Her request was only if I made it. I was like, okay, clearly fine, no problem. Brought it back. I tried to be coy about it and just not be coy. Tried to be more like slick, and it didn't work. I had put rose petals in the shape of a heart on my floor and lit 2 little tea candles in the middle of it with the pizza sitting on the bed. When I told her to come in, she did. I was on 1D and asked her if she would marry me.
What was going through your mind?
First off, God, I hope she says yes. Because if not, I'm gonna feel really like, damn, that was your only shot, Chris. That's what was going through my mind at that time.
Okay. And so when she said yes, what was going through your mind?
Really? For real?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna
everybody
do it?
has.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, sure, let's go for sure. Like, when she did it, at first thing was like, are you sure you know what I'm asking you? Like, she was like, yes, like, yes. Because at first, I think she said yes, and finding out years later, she said yes because she thought I was joking. She
Really?
thought it was a complete joke. Like, it's probably happened to her before. Yeah, this is just another guy that's going to ask me to marry him. The relationship's not going to last long. And then here we are.
Nice. Nice. What was going through your mind the day of the day it was all official?
I was actually kind of disappointed to a certain extent. I'm like, really? That was it? Like, we showed up to the courthouse. Do you? Yes. This, that. Exchange ring, sign, kiss. Here you go. Goodbye.
Oh, it was pretty abrupt. It was like quick, huh?
I would say, if I can remember correctly, an hour at most.
Oh,
I always wanted one of those bigger weddings, you know, where I mean, like, I have groomsmen, my parents are there, you know, she's dressed in a white dress, I'm in a black tux or suit, the normal. And I had realized at that point in our relationship, we don't do anything that's normal.
right.
We always do things that are either ass backwards or completely off the wall. And when it was done, I was like, okay, so now it's officially you're my wife. We went to Target on our wedding night with my best friend at the time, shopping for pajamas.
Nice. Okay. What's the biggest fear you have?
Losing my family.
Your favorite color?
Red.
Why do you like Dallas Cowboys so much?
When I was 9 years old, when I was in fourth grade, I was a huge Denver Broncos fan. And that was back in the day where the Broncos were trash. The Cowboys were America's team. 9-year-old, I didn't know any better, so I bandwagon jumped to the Dallas Cowboys. And ever since then, I've been a faithful Cowboys fan for the last 30 plus years.
Out of the entire existence that you have been around here and really go in for Dallas Cowboys, who is your MVP? You only get one.
The fans.
You say the fans or the MVP?
The fans, because we've been put through 30 years of disappointment after disappointment after disappointment after all hype. This is the next, Troy Aikman to be let down.
Okay. Well, what about the players? There's no MVP player? I mean, the fans is nice, but I want to know a player.
If I had to pick a player, any of the players from the Cowboys, I would have to say I was a big Tony Romo fan.
Tony Romo, okay. Now we're going to go a little left here because I told you I was going to hit you with it. I'm going to hit you with it.
All right.
What are your thoughts on Vince McMahon as a wrestling fanatic?
I'm torn both ways. As a wrestling fan, from a wrestling standpoint, all the stuff that he was accused of and all the stuff he did, I feel like he was the type of person who couldn't tell his persona on TV to actual Vince McMahon at home. He probably thought it was all the same. So I feel bad for all those women involved, and I think it's, a damn shame. But at the same time, I am happy that he's gone because the storylines have gotten better. The product has gotten better. I'm watching it more than I have in years. It's not the same thing being forced down your throat all the time.
Right. Okay. So we're going to go through 3 parts of this wrestling thing I want to know. So when you were a kid, when you were in high school, in your 20s and now, who were, in each of those time periods that I just mentioned, who were your favorite wrestlers and why? And it could be from any franchise in wrestling because it always changes hands. People move different companies. So we'll just say any wrestler, male or female, who were they at each different point? And then overall, who's your overall favorite?
So high school, 20s, and now, right?
Oh, and as a kid.
Oh, as a kid?
Yep.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
All day, Hulk Hogan. I thought I wanted to be Hulk Hogan, tear the shirt off, all that stuff. Growing up as a teenager, The Rock. All day, The Rock. And to this day, he's one of my favorites. He's not my absolute favorite, but he's one of my favorites. In my 20s, and that one's tough. There's so many. Shawn Michaels. And now, CM Punk.
Really? Okay. And then all-time overall, who's the best?
Sting.
Sting. Who's the worst wrestler in the entire mythos?
Wow, the worst? God, there's that's a tough one. The worst. Wow. Shane McMahon.
McMahon. Okay. If you can change one thing in the wrestling sphere and you get to pick whatever you want, what would you change?
I listen to more what the fans want.
You want to make sure,
because at the end of the day, the fans are the one that buy the merchandise, that buy the tickets, that buy the food there, that, you know, buy the action figures and want to be their favorite wrestler. I feel it'd be more entertaining. Like, you know, here is a list of things that we were trying to do for like a pay-per-view. And just do like a voting, like a poll system. Who do you want to see fight who? What kind of match? What kind of this? What kind of that? And see how it turns out.
Okay. What do you want your legacy to be?
That I worked hard every single day. That's a tough one too. That I was big on my family. That I was a huge family person, and family is the most important thing in anybody's life.
What's the best prank you ever pulled on your family?
Best prank I ever pulled on my family. Wow. Okay. Growing up, my birth mom used to have my sister I sit behind her with tweezers and pull out gray hairs from her head. She was really self-conscious. So I came up with an idea. My sister had one of those little robo walking doggies or whatever that had the white long hair. So I told her to grab a chunk of the hair out of there and just like when you sit behind her to do it, just sprinkle it on top and be like, oh, wow, look at how much I found. She did, and she freaked out.
Oh, wow. You sound like a wonderful person. When we get older, my man, you can come over and you can get the grays out of my hair, sir. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Let's go.
So this is a two-parter. Actually, we'll start off with the first, and then I'll transition in the second. What was going through your mind, and how did you feel when you found out you were having a kid?
My bad. I'm sorry.
Really?
Yeah. I thought at the time I had done something wrong, and knowing that I didn't, I was kind of freaked out a little bit. But at that point, I was happy that I was married and in a relationship, that it wasn't one of these one-night stands.
Right.
My fear turned to joy very quickly.
Okay. The day she was born.
The happiest day of my life. For several different reasons. One, I've never instantly fallen in love with any person or anything that quickly in my entire life. And it's when they put your kid in your arms, and for anybody who's a dad who's watching knows exactly what I'm talking about. She opened her eyes and looked at me. She smiled. Shayna held her. She didn't smile or open her eyes, but she did for Daddy. So that was my favorite.
Is she more Daddy's girl or Mama's girl?
Now, it's a toss. Attitude-wise, it depends on who you're asking. If you ask me, I'm going to say Mom. You ask Mom, she'll say me. Appetite, it was me, not so much me anymore, from the me now. She still has my appetite, but not like how I eat now. Stubbornness is definitely her mom all day long. Her mouthiness is definitely from me, hands down. She's very sassy for me.
What are some values that you have been trying to instill in her since?
Love people for what's on the inside, not the out. No matter who they are.
Does she practice that?
This kid, yeah, she'll give her clothes off her back for somebody in need. She cares about people. She cares about animals. She loves these little black fuzzy, I want to say caterpillars that are out here by us. She even looked up what they were. She makes pets out of them when she's outside. She's a lover of everybody and everything.
See, we're both parents, so we always have to watch our kids, right? We always watch them, whether they think we're watching or not. They always try to pull the okie doke. Now, I've known Miss Aspen for a long time, and I've watched her. You know, she's been here, and you guys have been here as well, and she's an amazing person. But I want to ask you, for someone who's been in her life, her entire life, what is something that you have observed that she does time and time again, but you haven't told her that you're proud of? That you just keep it to yourself, like it's something you keep.
Wow. No matter what she does, she tries. No matter what it is. Even if she tries to half-ass something, she still tries. She still makes an attempt. And her heart is always in the right place. And I don't tell her enough that I appreciate where her heart's at and appreciate the stuff that she does do.
What's your favorite movie genre?
Movie genre. That's a good action.
Okay, perfect. Any particular action superstar?
Back in the day, would have been. I was a big Arnold fan back in the day.
We'll use him.
Okay.
Can you think of all of the Arnold movies he's ever been in? Can you think of it?
Probably not, but I can think of a lot.
Okay, you have a few in your head. Which Arnold Schwarzenegger movie best describes your life? As close as you can get.
Should have picked a different actor.
Hey, I'm here just doing the questions, sir.
Wow. Which my life now?
Just in general, just your entire life up to this point. An Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that would be very close to it.
Kindergarten Cop.
You know what? For some reason, I can relate to it. I get it. All right. Fair enough. Favorite music that you listen to for unwinding?
Unwinding.
Yeah.
If I'm having a hard time and I'm trying to sleep and relax, jazz.
Okay. So let's say the family's not around, right? They're out doing, you know, girl stuff. Their mommy-daughter day. And you're home by yourself. What's something that you do just to relax? What's a quiet evening for you?
Sleep.
I'm sorry?
Sleep.
Oh, so you're just going to just be like, everyone's out, I'm going to bed, I gotta get to sleep?
Yeah, there's times where they'll go out and Shayna and Aspen will work together, and I'll be at home. It'll be my day off from work, and I tell my store not to bother me. I'm unreachable, and nothing is better than a 45-minute to an hour nap uninterrupted. No kid, no wife calling you, no job calling you. And some of those times, it's been the most peaceful I've gotten, just because when everybody's here, I'm worried, is she sleeping okay? How is she feeling? Is Aspen asleep? Are the dog and the cat trying to kill each other? Stuff like that. Versus when it's just me, I got the dog in here with me, the cat's out there, and the girls are out working. It's a little bit peaceful.
So when the family is together with you, what's a nice quiet evening for the family? What do you guys like to do?
We used to. We're trying to get back into it because we haven't found one yet, but we like to binge watch shows. The last shows that we did binge watch together as a family, like completely through, was the Yellowstone series.
Oh, really? What's that about?
It's a modern day Western.
Okay, Western. Okay. I'll have to check it out myself. Nice. What's the coolest thing you've ever binged watched? What was cool?
Cobra Kai.
Oh, isn't that the thing after Karate Kid? Right? Am I correct? Nice. Yep. Is it pretty good?
Yeah, there's 5 seasons. They just released the trailer for season 6, which they're going to release in 3 different parts. One in July, one in November, and in the last part sometime in 2025.
Okay, all right. Autobots or Decepticons?
Autobots.
Why?
Just because I like good over evil.
All right, fair enough. All right.
If you want to, from a cool standpoint, Decepticons, because they could transform from literally anything.
Right.
I mean, anything. A toaster, a boombox, a cell phone, versus Autobots are Ford Fusions, semis, Camaros, a Datsun.
All right. I hear the sadness, but you're still Team Autobot. All right.
Yeah.
As a kid, what was your favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex.
A T-Rex. Okay. Mine was a Stegosaurus. So,
okay.
Very nice. So when you ever feel low, right? You're at your lowest point. This has actually been a really cool question that it's now being part of these interviews now. At your lowest point, right? And we all have been there. And I mean low. What comic book character do you best relate to?
Wow. What I'm at my lowest?
When you're at your lowest, which comic book character would you say you could relate to?
That's a toss-up. I would say it'd be Doctor Strange and Wanda, or the Scarlet Witch.
Okay, explain. Since you want to put both of them in there, I want to know why.
The pain from the Scarlet Witch when Vision died, and when she made up all that reality for her kids that she thought she had kids and she really didn't. The pain that she suffered, how genuine that was. When the one person she loved the most got taken, I can relate to that personally. Doctor Strange, from when he injured his hands and he went to Comatage and he was lost and didn't know who he was and he found himself. I can also relate with that within the last few years.
Okay. I like that. Okay. Who does it better, Marvel or DC?
Depends on which way you want to ask that question. From a storyline standpoint, Marvel all day. Graphics, DC.
This is another good question that seems to be a part of the show, and you have to be extremely honest now. This one's tough. Okay. This is a very tough question. Why does Batman suck?
Because he's a rich millionaire wannabe philanthropist that just has gadgets. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any real superpower.
No superpowers, huh? But intelligence doesn't count?
I mean, Tony Stark is intelligent.
All right, fair enough. So I guess Marvel does it better.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you one wish. One wish, and you can't use it on the family. We're going to go globally. What's one thing you would change on this planet? Could be anything you want, but it can't be for your family.
On the planet?
Yep. We'll get one change.
Find a way for everyone to coexist and for no one to be hungry.
Well, cannibalism would fix that, wouldn't it?
No. People would still be sad and still hurting because they'd be the ones getting eaten.
All right, fine. That's fair. All right, so that's the wish. Okay. Why, in your humble opinion as an adult, why are microplastics so delicious?
I have not the foggiest clue.
Yeah, they're in everything. That's what they say. So I'm just trying to.
Micro meaning small, so I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, they say it'll never come out of your body or something. It's in all the food. I just thought I'd ask.
They also said drinking out of a hose when I was a kid would hurt me.
I still do it to this day, my friend.
If I had one, I would too. I just don't have a hose.
Matter of fact, speaking of which, what is something that you still do that you've always done as a kid?
Something I do now that I've always done as a kid?
Yeah.
Get overexcited for Christmas.
Overexcited? What's it?
Like way overexcited.
So what is it about Christmas that gets you like super geek?
Just the feeling, the atmosphere of the trees up with the lights. You got Christmas music playing in the background. Parents are wrapping presents in their room for the kids, talking about, how are they going to act? What do you think they're going to say? I hope they like this. And then just the feeling of Christmas morning as a little kid, now as a grown man, that I got to look forward to getting the gifts. Now I get to look forward to seeing what they're thinking of, or what they're thinking that I got them, or I'm seeing, as being a dad, what does Aspen think of her presents? What does a wife think of hers?
Now, because of this, the moment of this recording, we know Father's Day just passed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, just go ahead and just really, really think about this. What's the coolest thing you've ever received as a Father's Day gift? In your opinion, it doesn't even have to be an item. It could be a gesture. It could be anything that you got on Father's Day.
Would actually be this year from Aspen. She got me a knife that has the state that we live in and my name next to it on the knife, that her and her mom got when they were out working. And that plus the 2 other gifts she got me, she knows me very well: a box of cosmic brownies and the 6-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper.
That's all it takes to keep that smile on your face, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was, and a Star Wars card.
Star Wars. Mm-hmm. You like Star Wars, huh?
Yes.
Okay. What's the best movie in Star Wars franchise?
I'm glad my coworker's not here, because that's a big debate we have every day.
What do you mean? Wait. What do you mean a debate? Wait.
Him and I differ on Star Wars, like the different spinoffs. Like Solo, he thought was good. I thought was trash.
Okay.
I thought the Kenobi series was great. He thought that was horrible. My personal favorite all time is the Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Okay. And which one's like the worst movie in the franchise or series?
Solo.
You didn't like what was it about Solo that you didn't like?
It was just the origin story of Han Solo, and I just thought it was rushed. I didn't think it went very. I think it was just like they tried to throw it out there too quickly.
Okay. So, in the Star Wars franchise, we have Luke Skywalker, we have Anakin, we got Yoda, Mace Windu, we got all these different characters, right? Who do you relate to?
Mm-hmm. Yoda.
Why is that? You're actually pretty tall. And Yoda's kind of short.
It wouldn't be from the height, it'd be from the wisdom. I feel that all the wisdom I got as a kid, I'm now catching myself telling my child. Like literally everything. I feel like my dad at times saying things to her that my dad would say. And when I try to give her like the nuggets of wisdom, I try to talk to her like Yoda. I'm like, oh, listen, you will. I try to do everything I could to get her to, to listen to the advice.
So I'm going to give you a moment here. So we know people are going to watch this, right? We know people are going to watch this. I would like for you to leave a message. We'll start with your wife first and take it away and say whatever you want from the heart. And, that way it's always there.
I just wanted to tell my wife, Shana, thank you for everything you do for me. I know that there are times it seems like I don't notice it, and there are times I don't. But thank you for grounding me again and bringing me back to where I'm like, okay, so this is, you are doing this, and just getting me to slow down and take steps back and look at it and making me a better person than I was when we first met.
Now, Miss Aspen.
Please enjoy being a child as long as you can. Enjoy that as long as humanly possible. Life sucks. It doesn't get any easier. Enjoy the small things. Enjoy the time that you do get with family, because you never know when it's over.
You're supposed to end them all with I love yous. What happened? What happened?
I wasn't thinking about that. I was just trying to speak from the heart.
Yeah, and you don't want to give them an I love you?
I do love you, Aspen, and I do love you, Shana, very much. Both of you.
Good save. My God, this thing would have ended, and then people are like, he didn't say I love them. Oh my God, he said such nice things. Oh my goodness. What is something that people get wrong about you until they meet you?
That I'm an asshole.
They think that, huh?
Consistently to this day. I can be, yes, but I am a very down to earth person. I'm a loyal friend. Um, I I reach out to people if they need me, to see if they need anything. I'm always checking in with friends and family. Yeah.
So, what's the worst thing about you?
I overanalyze things a lot, or I look too much into things.
Every morning when you get up and you have to leave the house and you can't use your family on this, what are you grateful for?
That I have a job, that I have. I don't want to. I can confidently, for the first time in my life, say job security. I've never felt that way about any job in my life. I've always thought, like, I'm gonna screw up. Here comes your fired phone call, or go on vacation and come back. Hey, you don't have a job. Here, I don't have to worry about that for the first time, and it's nice.
Tell me about your first car.
My first car, that was a little beater. It was a 1979 Ford Fairmount that was in a parking lot of an abandoned bowling alley in Colorado, where I was living at the time, and they wanted $800 for it. I went, grabbed my dad. It was sitting right next to a Buick Century. Grabbed my dad. My dad calls my grandfather. They both go up there. My grandpa wants me to get one. My dad tells me to get the other. I listened to my dad. I ended up getting the 79 Ford, and that was the exact car that was my very first car that I bought. And the wife at the time, my girlfriend, was with me when I had the car.
On your first wedding anniversary, what did you get your wife?
Wow, I don't remember. And that is the honest truth. I remember what we did. I remember where we went for dinner, who we were with, but I don't remember what I got her.
Where'd you go for dinner?
Went to a place called the Briarwood Inn in Colorado. It's no longer around, but it's one of these black tie type of places. Like, you have to dress fancy. She had to wear like a super nice dress. I was a shirt and tie. Same with my dad and my birth mom. It was a thing to where the cheapest thing on the menu was what Shayna ordered, and it was $50.
Okay. Now, before you got married and before you met your wife, what did you used to spend your money on?
Wrestling figures, video games, fast food.
Video games, you say? What was your favorite game?
Well, it depends on which console. If I had to pick one overall, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, that's everybody.
That is the all-time classic, followed by the original Super Mario Brothers.
Fair enough. What's the worst game you played?
Duck Hunt, because of the damn dog.
You hated that dog, huh?
Yep,
I'm going to backtrack to this Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. It's not going to be about Arnold Schwarzenegger, but because we were talking about movies earlier, what movie has inspired you the most and why?
What movie has inspired me the most and why? Wow. I don't know one that's inspired me. I would have to say, if I had to pick one that inspired me in my life, Rocky 3.
Okay.
Reason being, for people who have seen it, if you haven't, sorry, spoiler alert, Rocky gets beat by Mr. T, and he gets beat because he's distracted because his trainer or manager dies. And as he's struggling to get back into the ring, struggling to become, to get himself back, he hears the voice of his trainer in his ear. He's like, hey, I didn't hear no bell. Get up, don't quit. And that, I hear in my head every day. Every day I get up, I hear one more round. Okay.
So I'm going to put a smile on your face with this next set of words.
Okay.
You are not allowed to elaborate on them. We'll be on the same page. Fair?
Okay. Fair.
Power Rangers. Yeah. Just wanted to put a smile on your face, my man. Just wanted to let you know that I always be listening. All right. Here we go. This is a 3-parter. Favorite childhood memory, teenager memory, adult memory.
Childhood, teenage, and adult. A favorite childhood memory. It would have to be one of the Christmases I had when my dad decided to make Christmas morning a scavenger hunt. The tree was a Christmas card, and inside the Christmas card was our first clue to the location of our first present. He did that because my sister and I would always wake up at 5 a.m. and wake him up for Christmas, and all the presents are open in 10 minutes. This way, it drug it out a little longer for him to get up, make breakfast, and stuff like that. Teenage. Favorite memory as a teenager. That's... First time a girl was interested in me.
Okay.
A favorite memory as an adult. Becoming a dad.
Fair enough. Now we are going to take it to a weird turn.
Okay.
And I would love to know this. Not in a fun way or anything. It's just a good question to ask you. What was the worst news you've ever received?
My dad has cancer.
What was going through your mind?
Which time? First time, I was like, really? This can't be true. And I thought, okay, it was an instant death sentence. Automatically, you got cancer, you're done. He was 40 years old. That was 24 years ago when I found it out. And it was a little scary. I thought I was going to lose my dad being just barely over the age of 20 and him not being able to see his grandkid.
I want you to leave a message to your dad.
Dad, I hope I made you proud. I know I made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes I can't undo. But I hope you do know that I am the man I am partially today because of you. Keep fighting the fight, and I love you, man.
What's one thing that no one knows about you?
That's tough. One thing that no one knows about me. Wow, that's a tough one. One thing that no one knows about me. I'm a pretty decent bowler.
Really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Nice.
Not the best, but I'm not the worst.
But you can play.
For sure.
Nice. What is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. Gosh. I can... What was one? I can pop a lot of my joints without it even hurting at all. Like weird ones, like my nose right here, my nose up in here.
Okay. All right. What's the most cringiest thing in your opinion?
Gen Z trying to cancel everything.
Gen Z trying to cancel everything?
Yep.
Okay. All right. How does the word moist make you feel?
Disturbed.
Oh my goodness. Favorite animal?
Favorite animal?
To eat.
Oh, to eat?
I'm just kidding. No, just favorite animal.
I also say bison. Favorite animal? Turtles.
Turtles? Nice. Any particular turtle or just a whole spectrum of turtles?
Just turtles.
In your humble opinion, what is the most useless animal on the planet?
Useless animal on the planet. I mean, snakes.
And why are snakes useless in your opinion?
I mean, all they're doing is eating other animals. Like, they really don't. I mean, I can't say they really don't serve a purpose, but there's more people getting bit by snakes and other things happening because of snakes than really anything else that I can see.
All right. Well, I've got one more good question for you. I've been dying to ask the right person. I think you're the right person for this question.
All right.
Why is Ryan Reynolds so dreamy?
I don't know.
This is something about him, ain't it? Just something about him.
I don't look at guys like that, so it's hard for me to say.
Okay, first off, no, this isn't guys. This isn't even men, boys. We're not even looking at none of that. Ryan Reynolds, you know Deadpool?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The guy who was the Mint Mobile commercials.
Yeah. Look at all the great things he's doing. I'm not saying you got to sleep with the guy. I'm just saying, why is he so dreamy?
I think it's because he's probably really a down-to-earth guy. What you see on TV is what he probably is like in real life.
Nice. Well, I think I'm all out of really good questions, but I think I'll just pull one random one out of the box.
All right.
Here it is. Every day. Actually, it's not even this card. I don't even need this card. Actually, as soon as I pulled it, I got a good one. For 20 years, when you look at your wife, what keeps you attracted to her? Yeah, you wake up in the morning, you're like, that's all mine.
Every day is different. There's not one day in the last 20 years that's been the same. Whether she's going through something, whether she's not, it's always a blast to see what our day is going to be, how her day is going to be compared to mine, how she's feeling from one minute to the next, what color she decides to dye her hair. It's just, I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it, but it is something about her that, guys, I would say more of infatuation. Like, I'm infatuated with her. It's like when you love somebody enough, it's almost like a drug. You can't get enough of that person or of that thing. And with her, I can't get enough of being around her, talking to her, listening to what she has to say, hanging out and just spending us time.
All right. Final question.
Yes, sir.
And this is going to be more of a treat for me. Every day that you have to leave your house, what irritates you to your core about people you interact with?
The sense of self-entitlement.
Well, you said that with your chest.
There's people who think that that people owe you anything.
Oh, wow. Okay. Fair enough. Well, I want to say, Chris, I really do appreciate you, bro. You guys have always been family. And
appreciate that.
I really do appreciate you taking the time for me to ask some silly questions, some real questions. Sure. Just want to get to know a little bit more of you and the inside of your family and stuff. And just wanted to say thank you for your time, my man.
Of course. Thanks for the invite. Definitely down to do it whenever. And the questions were fun. Good. Absolutely. Good. Some of them I knew was like, it's coming. He hasn't said it. It's coming. Yeah. And bam, it was.
Don't get me wrong. This was a video for you, sir, because if this was a video for me, I would have asked you some different questions.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're way more fun for me, but it's not about me. It's about you, and that's what the point of this.
That would be a fun video, though.
Yeah, and for everybody, we have TikTok. His TikTok link is located at the bottom of this video, and I appreciate you, Chris, man. I appreciate you again. And thank you.
Of course. You're welcome.
And everybody, thanks for watching. You could say bye to everybody.
See y'all later. Have a great night.